Hey there, this is Jenna from Spiritually Savage Mindset Strategy Coaching. I am a psychic medium, channeler, card reader, spiritual guide, spiritual mentor, coach, whatever it is you want to call. I am here to help you with your awakening and your journey in any way that I can. I want to do a Mercury retrograde reading. I did a talk with another human who is an amazing human who is in my little spiritual circle, and one of my soul family, one of my spiritual supports, and someone who I find to be an amazing support for me, Melania Mercedes. And if you don't know her, we run a Facebook group together called the Self-Care Sanctuary. If you're not in that group and you're on Facebook, come join us, and make sure that you say in the questions that you heard it on YouTube from me, and I'll be sure to approve you. But it is an amazing group, and she and I have known each other for a few years and had an instant soul connection. And she did a talk this morning about oils to support Mercury retrograde and things like that. And that's something that we share together. And so we talked about Mercury retrograde and how this is a really big opportunity, and most people just kind of look at Mercury retrograde as a time when the shit just hits the fan. And we need to start looking at it as an opportunity for us to explore our shadow aspects that come up. So I wanted to do a reading on what we can expect right here in Mercury retrograde to come up, because there's a lot of pressure right now on some people. And I want to remind you, this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If I say one word, two words, one sentence, something that is for you, that your soul resonates with, then this was for you. And just leave what doesn't. Everything is not going to be for you. If you were looking for a private reading, or if you are looking for support and coaching or mentorship, anything, I have all kinds of services. And so you can hit my scheduler down there, or send me a message on any of my socials, anything like that. And please do, if you have questions, concerns, or just wonder how we would connect like that, feel free to hit me up. So let's talk about Mercury retrograde. Messages from the universe, from spirit. Talk to us and give us some messages of what's coming for the people watching. Whoever is watching, you know who's going to watch. While I'm drawing, thank you for subscribing and for sharing, giving me feedback, and commenting, all those things. Like, I adore all your feedback, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for sharing and making sure that you tell other people as we grow this channel. I thank you all for being here. You are absolutely the reason I am here. Yes, this speaks to me. All right. So right now, just as I just said, we are having a struggling time seeing the beauty in Mercury retrograde. We are right now seeing some nasty shadow aspects of ourselves and our life that a lot of us are kind of looking at this mess and not realizing that there is beauty in it. There is a method to the madness of the universe. Right now, we just feel like this is a big fucking train wreck. There is a lot of force right now. A lot of people are saying around this and to this, and in my client base are saying, this is all happening so fast. Why is this all happening now? When some of you need to understand that you've been dragging this out for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, however many years, and didn't move. And now the universe is like, I'm tired of this, and pushing you. And you're like the fool getting close to the edge of the mountain, and the universe is going, no, you're going off. Like, you're going to learn to trust and build the machine on the way down. And you're going, I haven't planned. I'm not prepared. There's there's not enough time, and you're looking at this as this is terrifying and utter chaos, and this is beautiful. This collapse, this energy of disruption and destruction and everything just falling down is ushering in the most beautiful transformation. It is, again, like the caterpillar going into the cocoon and blossoming into the most beautiful butterfly. The transformation is going to be real and breathtaking, is the word that my guide just said. Breathtaking. I like that word. I felt it. And so this time is about stepping into our power and us owning this and not resisting, but leaning in and taking control of the change, not feeling like we have to have every single detail. I did a reading earlier today for someone, and I said, there's a lot of change going on, and they feel like there needs to be a method to it. I have to do everything right because I don't want to fail. But the problem is, a lot of you haven't been moving. You haven't been following your intuition. You haven't been listening to yourself at all. And so what you've been doing is failing. Today, during the talk, Melania was talking about how failure is how you know that you're progressing. And I thought I loved it, because I saw a post the other day that said, we don't success our way into success. We fail our way into success. And if you don't like that word failure, let's say mistakes. Okay? We need to stop worrying about doing it perfectly and learn to lean in and make mistakes faster. Because when we learn how not to do it, that's when we get closer to how to do this. What you're doing standing still for this 5, 10, 15, 3, 1, 6 months, while you've been standing still, stressed about what the next move is and doing everything perfectly, and if you're doing it wonderfully, you are failing because you're standing still and you're tolerating and you're pushing you down and you're not making the changes, and you're continuing the cycle over and over and over, and that is failure. Continuing to do the same thing over and over and thinking there's going to be a different result, that's failure. Okay? So stop worrying about doing it right. The universe is trying to force you. And if you don't, it's just going to blow everything up, and you're going to think it looks like a mess, but that's going to be the right that needs to happen. You just need to jump. The universe doesn't care. Okay? It's already provided. It just needs you to trust yourself and it. Jump. Make the changes you need to make now. Step into your power and recognize how full on powerful you are. Lean in. Okay? Because this card speaks to me on 2 different levels. Number 1, I feel like you're getting a lot of messages in your dreams. I feel like there's a lot of processing going on in your dreams. I feel like you're dreaming about your twin. I feel like there's a lot of telepathic communication, your soulmate, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that is in your life. I also feel like you're being able to harness your actual dreams and passions right now. The universe is asking you, who are you? Really? And we talked about this the last couple of videos. It's like, who are you really? Like, why are you identifying yourself as the roles you play in society? And I think I'm going to do a separate video about this, because we're going to talk about how to identify who you are. I want you to tell me who you are, and I want you to be able to tell you who you are. So I think I'm going to do a whole separate video on just that, so we can talk about that this week, because identity is really in question right now. Our roots are really in question. But I think you're reconnecting back to your dreams. You're reconnecting back to the things that you wanted before you got stuck in the societal system and this weird circular rotation of what you feel like is expected of you, what you feel like society wants from you, what you feel like, it's really funny because you can't see it, but I'm doing this. and I just got like the little blue circle of death on my computer where it was like spinning. So every time I do this, it shows up. So I'm going to stop doing that. But it was weird. It was like the universe validated me for a second. But it feels like we're stepping back into our dreams and about what we wanted before we started conforming to people pleasing and society and what our religion expected from us, what we expected from ourselves, what we felt like we had to do instead of what we wanted to do. Okay. So I'm really just feeling my regular Rider-Waite deck right now. So let's move in on that and kind of just keep it going with what we got going on, because I really want to hear, let's talk about what to expect in Mercury retrograde. What do we need to expect? Because Mercury retrograde is until October 18th. And then we have the post-shadow period. So right now, the Mercury retrograde is happening in Libra, which highlights relationships. And when I say relationships, I don't mean just romantic relationships, although that can be a factor. I mean the relationship with, your coworkers, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your partner, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the collective, your relationship with your gifts, your relationship with your guides, your relationship with your ancestors, your relationship with your soul and your, creation and, Mother Earth and your relationship with nature, like whatever it is that you're feeling the pull towards getting to know more. And so I feel like, with the full moon that just happened in Pisces, like our emotions are on high alert right now. And the Mercury retrograde, usually people identify it with breaches in communication. People don't understand each other well. I'm noticing that there are a lot of people trying to pick fights, looking for a fight on social media. I was in a group this morning and posted something they had asked in this group about could people who were in relationships before be friends afterwards. And a lot of people said, yes, absolutely, I'm friends with a lot of my exes and things like that. And I literally said, like, yeah, absolutely, you can be friends with your exes. I'm friends with all of my exes, and it's called maturity and not using people to fill voids. And this guy just literally came for me and said that he thought by my answer that not only was I, keeping my exes in my life to keep a body count in case my current relationship didn't fulfill me, but he also said that he felt like I was a covert narcissist and that I should really look into that. And by the way, this is the person who I mean, this is a human. I don't know it all. This is not, but his intuition told him. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't run around and call people narcissist. Being a narcissist is incredibly rare. Regardless of what you think, being a narcissist is incredibly rare. And most of what people attribute narcissistic traits is just normal human behavior. Being somebody that has a psych degree and worked in mental health for years, being a narcissist is incredibly rare. We need to stop using therapy words as buzzwords to make people feel a certain way or to excuse behavior. Like you feel butthurt over something somebody said, or you feel triggered about something that somebody's doing or saying, and then all of a sudden we go, that person's a narcissist. So I feel justified now in just keeping my load and my garbage. Okay? I don't feel like I need to look into that trigger because that person's a narcissist. Well, I don't give a shit if that person is a narcissist actually or not. But if you feel triggered, then you need to look into it. And that's the thing is that's how you know, because sometimes, you know, that this guy has been, by the way, I didn't respond, and this guy has been trying to pick a fight with me all day. And so I was highly entertained that he is still, I literally keep going to look at his comments to hear, you know, more about myself. Don't let that shit bother you. These are not people that know you. And even if they're people that know you, everybody's words to you are generally about themselves, or about fear that you incite in them. So don't sweat that kind of stuff. This is Mercury retrograde. We're worried about, you know, technology going to shit and miscommunications. So I really want to find out what's going to be coming down the pike for us as a collective with this Mercury retrograde, because we're still in the thralls of it right now, and that's okay. Some big things are coming with this Mercury retrograde, and I'm looking forward to it. So the current place is your Knight of Wands, and your Knight of Wands, your Knights are offers. Your Knights show up and bring you offers from the King or the Queen or whatever. Wands is inspiration. So this Mercury retrograde is going to offer you some ability to tap back down into your fire, to show you what your passions are, show you what your desires are. But here's the opposite. Okay, the fire emotions on the other end are anger and jealousy and retaliation and resentment. And you need to look out for these things, because if you're not in a balanced place with yourself, those are the emotions that are going to come out. Instead of it being fire and passion and desire and creativity flowing out of you, it's going to be anger and retaliation and jealousy and nastiness. And you need to know that when that stuff is coming out, picking fights, causing arguments, being a troll, being an overall douchebag, it's time to self-care. It's time to find out where all of that is rooted, and where you are not listening to yourself, where you are not pushing forward, where the universe is trying to direct you, where you are not taking action, where the universe is clearly forcing you now. Because that pressure and you resisting is what's causing this anger and this resentment and this retaliation. With those emotions, you are literally blocking everything that you've been trying to create. You're blocking love. You're blocking abundance. You are blocking, you know, emotional support. You are blocking acceptance of the shit that's coming forward. I feel like a lot of you have been working on mindset, and you've asked the universe to help you with certain things in your life. You've asked it with acceptance, with emotions, with being able to deal with a situation or a person, or to know what to do. And the universe is like, no, you're just supposed to get rid of that situation. Okay? And there's the anger. You're like, no, that's not what I wanted. I asked you to help me deal with this. But what's coming out is the anger and the resentment, because you already know how to deal with this. You don't want to look inside. You're in avoidance. So you just want to stay in the same pattern. The universe is asking you to be the King of Cups, and to really just dig in and have some emotional maturity, master your emotions, and just be upfront about them. To just really entrench and say, no, this is the way that I feel. Own it. And be able to stand in your power again and make it happen. Move forward in this action. Because, again, with the Knights, more offers. This is an offer of truth. The universe, your soul, your intuition is offering you truth. And there's no need to be angry about it. You asked for the truth, and now it's coming forth. Okay? So you need to act in your own integrity. Do what needs to be done to keep you in alignment. And even if that's big, major changes, then it needs to be done. Because what's happened is this. You're seeing now where you've been pushing down your own emotions, putting yourself on the back burner, abandoning yourself, lying to yourself, denying truths to yourself. You've seen what these particular people in your life are doing and what they're causing in your life and how that affects you. And yet you've been refusing to stand up for yourself and to put boundaries because you're afraid of losing these people. And let me just give you a little bit insight. If you are having to be somebody else and to push your emotions down and to abandon yourself and to lie to yourself and deny yourself, and hide things or just keep the peace in order to keep a relationship together, a romantic relationship, a friendship relationship, a family relationship, does not matter, then that's not a relationship. Alrighty? If I have to hide things from my friends, in order for us to stay friends, we're already not friends. Because me hiding things from them means that they aren't my friend and I'm not theirs. Okay? So you're trying to save a relationship that's already not there. Okay, so we need to have truth. We need to accept truth and see truth. There are offers of truth right now being shown to you in this Mercury retrograde. You just need to accept them. Okay? Because right now you are really in a period of losing faith, diminished hope. You keep thinking you're stuck in this cycle forever and that you won't get out of it. You're choosing to stay in it because you won't see truth and you won't act on it and do what's best for you and do what's best for everybody, honestly, because what's best for you is best for everybody. Okay? Because doing what's best for you pushes other people to deal with things they haven't been dealing with. Okay? So if you think you're hurting somebody else by not acting on this truth, just so you know, you're hurting them by this forcing down and ignoring and everything. Right now you're just lamenting. You feel like a lot of time has been lost. You've wasted a lot of time and you don't want to, you feel like stuck because you're like, I've wasted all this time. I've invested all this time in this. And the truth is you're not investing in anything because an investment is something that'll be beneficial in the future. You're literally just throwing your money down the toilet right now, quote unquote, investing in this situation, in this relationship, in this job, in this situation. And again, with the fear of failure, push forward and make mistakes faster. Forward. There is no perfect way to do this. You listen to your soul and push forward now. You already have the feeling of what you need to do, so you just need to pull the trigger and do it. Because right now you're feeling like there's a lot of missed opportunities, there's a lot of disappointment, you're losing hope, you're losing faith, you just feel like you're stuck. You're not stuck. You're refusing to move. There's the difference. So move your ass. All right? Move your ass and get it done. It's not going to look perfect. It's going to be messy. But guess what? There is beauty in that mess. All right? See you tomorrow.